from the Don and Lorena Meyer studio at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln College of Journalism and Mass Communications, this is Nebraska Nightly.
Welcome to Nebraska Nightly. I'm Sophie Farrell.
And I'm Gracie Jones. Our top story today. A child was taken to the hospital after being run over by an SUV in Lincoln this morning. The 12-year-old was riding his scooter to Irving Middle School when he was struck by the vehicle. The boy is currently being treated for serious but non-life-threatening injuries at a local hospital. This is an ongoing investigation. Updates will be provided at a later date.
Fall break is upon us, and that means many UNL students are heading back home for the long weekend. This comes in perfect time to register to vote for the upcoming election if you haven't done so already. The Lancaster County Admissioner's Office has been busy. The deadline for registering online or by mail is today, October 18th. You can still register in person at your local election office through next Friday, the 25th, by 6 p.m.
The sooner the better. First, identify where you're registered to vote. If you're registered to vote back home, do not show up on election day and try to vote in Lincoln. That is probably our most common issue we have.
To learn how to get registered at home, visit your state's Secretary of State website for more information.
Following a ruling made by the Nebraska Supreme Court this past Wednesday, convicted felons will now be allowed to vote upon completion of their sentences. Nearly 7,000 convicted felons will be eligible to register to vote in compliance with LB 20. Back in July, Secretary of State Bob Evnen asked county election officials to reject voter registrations from people with felony convictions. This request was denied Wednesday by the Nebraska Supreme Court, saying Evnen had no authority to declare LB 20 unconstitutional.
A Nebraska high school has canceled the girls' varsity and junior varsity contests for the upcoming season.
We turn now to sports anchor Sarah Pearson, who has the details. Sarah?
Grand Island Senior High School announced it will not field a girls' varsity or junior varsity basketball team this season. The Islanders currently have 0 juniors and seniors out for the sport, despite having nearly 1,000 girls enrolled in grades 11 through 9, according to the Nebraska Schools Activities Association. This decision comes after months of deliberation within Grand Island Public Schools. The Islanders will still field a freshman and reserve team, hoping to develop for the future. Head coach Catherine Lang Rare will remain the helm of the program. The Grand Island Senior High Activities Director released a statement. Our focus will be to continue developing our freshman and sophomore players and put together a full court press towards rebuilding our youth programs in our community. I'll have more in sports later in the newscast. Back to you at the desk.
Following 2 assassination attempts on former President Donald Trump, a new law has been passed that requires equal Secret Service protection for the presidential candidates as the president himself. Gaylord News' Victoria Anderson has more as Election Day draws near and protection ramps up.
Protecting the sitting president is the #1 priority of the Secret Service. But after a series of recent assassination attempts on the campaign trail, politicians like Senator James Lankford are looking for more ways to protect candidates before they even get to the White House.
This is something every Secret Service agent wakes up every single day and wants to avoid.
After several close calls this campaign season, the Secret Service is facing a wake-up call from Capitol Hill. A new bill called the Enhanced Presidential Security Act, signed into law this month, calls for the same amount of Secret Service protection for major presidential candidates as the sitting president. But for those without the black suit and earpiece, understanding the magnitude of this move is difficult.
VIPs you're talking about?
Yes, sir.
Nixon and current presidents to Bill Clinton.
We spoke with retired Secret Service agent Joseph La Sorsa to help us break down what this means for agents.
And you have tiered levels of protection. Obviously, when something happens like this, it's going to change everybody's perspective.
But the agency has been in the hot seat long before gun violence hit the campaign stage. Statistics show that the agency lost 10% of their manpower in the past decade. But La Sorsa says working under pressure is what the agency does best.
You have to get creative. They do that all the time. And now they'll just continue to do it on a candidate level.
The bill came with calls of praise from the Sooner State. In a statement, co-signer Senator Langford said, amid these threats, we cannot sit back and ignore the security risks to a presidential nominee. And as Election Day gets closer and closer and candidates make their final pleas and promises, Secret Service agents are right by their side with a new assignment full of new challenges. Reporting in Washington, D.C., Victoria Anderson, Gaylord News.
Winter is coming. At least that's according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's winter outlook projections. Yesterday, the Climate Prediction Center at the National Weather Service laid out what could be expected this season through their winter outlook projections. Maribel Gonzalez spoke to their experts.
This winter could look a little different than the last one.
Overall, we are expecting warmer than normal temperatures across the southern tier of the country.
Last year, the natural climate pattern known as El Niño, in addition to warming due to fossil fuel pollution, brought warmer winters in the south and cooler ones in the north, with less snow in much of the northeast and Midwest. This year, its counterpart, La Niña, could bring a warmer and drier south and a wetter north.
Above normal temperatures are more likely across the southern tier of the country, also northward along the eastern seaboard, with below normal temperatures favored for parts of the northern Rockies and northern Plain.
But no two La Niña winters are the same, and their strength matters. The Climate Prediction Center forecasts this one to be a weaker event.
We would expect a more variable weather pattern. So you could go from warm and wet to cold and dry in a matter of 2 or 3 weeks.
And while El Niño and La Niña climate patterns help give us a good idea of what to expect, experts like Peter Goebel, climatologist at Colorado State University, says Mother Nature will have the ultimate say.
I like to use the analogy with El Niño, La Niña of it's like playing a game of cards or poker with a few extra aces in the deck. You might have an idea of how the deck is stacked, but it doesn't mean you know exactly what hand you're going to get.
I'm Maribel Gonzalez reporting.
Turning from national weather to our own backyard, October finally arrived with a few chilly days this week.
Which, I'm pretty happy about because I can finally break out my sweatshirts and sweatpants.
Definitely.
Dominic Ferraro has your forecast heading into fall break. Dominic?
Thank you. I wanted to bring up that NOAA graphic here for just a second here. Those above average temperatures in Michigan and the northwestern part of the country, across the central part of the country here, equal chances for precipitation. So what does equal chances really look like? Well, seasonal snowfall stats, this is from November to January, just like the graphic. We average about 26 inches of snow a year. Last year, we got 16.4, for slightly below average, though January was a very active month there. Most recent highest season on record, 2020 to 2021, we saw 49.4 inches of snow, so the 6th highest on record for Nebraska. However, I'm looking at these numbers and I'm getting cold already, so let's bring it back to your current conditions here. Mostly sunny skies, 80 degrees in the capital city, so we can't quite put away those shorts just yet. Winds out of the south between 20 and 25 miles per hour, gusting up to 30. Current satellite imagery right now, band of clouds working their way across the central part of the country with the jet stream here. A sharp trough working its way across the western part of the United States right now. Regional satellite showing some showers and thunderstorms popping up here along the southern border of Nebraska, coming up from Kansas here. And taking a look at that radar, starting to see a few flashes of lightning with some of these storms, but mainly just looking at some precipitation in an area that is much needed. We had some wildfires out in the central part of the state as well, so hopefully looking to diminish the threat with some of the rain showers we're seeing here right now. Statewide temperatures right now, tale of two different sides here. Out in the western part of the state, Chadron 48 degrees, Scottsbluff 47, 57 in Valentine as that cold front begins to work its way northwest to southeast here. North Platte 72 degrees in the eastern side of the state, 72 in Ord, 76 in Norfolk, and 75 in Omaha. Taking a look at your forecast for tonight, partly cloudy skies for your evening, your low of 56 degrees. Do you have any plans tonight? I want to take at least a light jacket with you. Winds out of the south between 10 and 15 miles per hour, but we could still see a gust up into 30. And starting off fall break tomorrow, mostly sunny skies, high temperature of 78 degrees, wind shifting to be out of the south-southwest between 5 and 10 miles per hour. We could still see some gusts nearing 20. And game day tomorrow, it's an away game, so here's your forecast for Bloomington, Indiana. Now it's 12 p.m. kickoff there, 11 a.m. our time. Temperature at kickoff in Bloomington will be 63 degrees, mostly sunny skies. Winds will be less than 5 miles per hour throughout the rest of the afternoon there, starting out into the lower 40s at 9 a.m. Maybe get some tailgating in by the time we get kickoff into the lower 60s, and by the time we're finishing things up into the lower 70s and upper 60s. But expecting mostly clear skies throughout the game tomorrow. And your 7-day forecast for the capital city could reach 80 once again on Sunday before that cold front and trough begins to work its way through our area. Could see a chance of showers and thunderstorms on Monday. Back up into the upper 70s on Tuesday before staying mostly clear for our conditions, but 69 degrees for that temperature on Wednesday before we work our way back up into the lower 70s for the later part of next week. We hope everybody has a fun fall break, and we'll toss it back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Dominic, for that weather update. When we come back,
Nebraska football returns after a bye week.
And volleyball remains undefeated in Big Ten play.
Blood never stops. And at the Nebraska Community Blood Bank, your blood could help save lives. Right now, only 7% of the population donates blood. But imagine if there were more.
We're sitting at below a 7-day level of supply of all blood types across the board. So every blood type is important, and we need all donors of all types to come in and donate right now.
At the Nebraska Community Blood Bank, they believe that all types make a strong blood supply.
Welcome back to Nebraska Nightly.
Sports reporter Sarah Pearson returns with a look at this weekend. Husker Athletics with Sarah.
Coming off a bye week, Nebraska football is back in action tomorrow as they hit the road to take on the undefeated Indiana Hoosiers. Head coach Matt Rule says it's not about the numbers, but instead who can play better.
Focus on us. We can't control the other team. It's the same message I said at UNI, the same message I said at UTEP, same message I say every week. You know, the team that plays the best wins. It's not the team with the best roster. It's not the team with the best record. It's not the team who won last week. It's not the team that has the better music in the locker room. Just the team that plays better wins.
Nebraska is off to its best start since 2016 at 5-1 overall, while Indiana comes in at 6-0. The Hoosiers lead the all-time series 9-3-3. The Huskers are the only team in the country to have not allowed a rushing touchdown this season. Nebraska and Indiana kick off at 11, and the game will be televised on Fox. From the gridiron to the pitch, Nebraska taking on Oregon. 39th minute, Haley Peterson strikes for the second time this year. Huskers net 2 goals in just a 7-minute span. It was a very windy evening in Lincoln's second half. Florence Belzeal getting in on the action off the assist from Sadie Waite. Huskers lead 3-0. That would be the final. Huskers hunt the Ducks and secure their second win in conference play. They will be back in action on Sunday against Washington at 1:05. Husker volleyball is undefeated in Big Ten play, and a huge part of their success has been sophomore setter Bergen Riley. Riley has anchored the Big Red offense all season long. She is coming off her 3rd Big Ten Setter of the Week award. Senior libero Lexi Rodriguez spoke earlier this week on the growth she's seen from Riley.
She believes in her hitters, she believes in her team, and she's really taking ownership of the offense, the team, just every aspect on the court, just because she's involved in every single play. And so to have someone grow in that aspect, I think it's helped our team a ton.
Here's a preview of the weekend ahead for the Huskers. Tonight they will take on the 7-10 Michigan State Spartans at 5 o'clock. It will be another quick turnaround when Nebraska faces 8-8 Ohio State tomorrow at 2:30. Tonight's contest can be seen on the Big Ten Network, while tomorrow's battle with the Buckeyes will be shown on national TV, airing on NBC. In more volleyball news, Andy Jackson has been named to the AVCA National Player of the Year watch list. Jackson is having a stellar sophomore season, averaging 2.66 kills per set on a .471 hitting percentage. Those numbers rank 4th in the nation and 1st in the Big Ten. Jackson is one of 5 Huskers named to the list.
So what Husker sports are you guys most looking forward to for the weekend?
I know I'm looking forward to volleyball. I'm a big volleyball girl. How about
I'm
you, Sarah?
definitely really looking forward to the volleyball team. You know, they play at 5 o'clock here coming up. I'm definitely rushing home and turn on TV.
I don't know. I'm a football girl, so I'm excited to cozy in on my couch on Saturday and hopefully watch the Huskers win.
Hey, I get that. Well, when we return.
A local pumpkin patch prepares for Halloween.
And the morning continues for Liam Payne.
Tonight on Nebraska Nightly.
Nearly 1 in 3 Husker students struggle with food insecurity. Husker Pantry addresses food insecurity and a welcoming space by providing free food and personal items to UNL students in need. Due to high demand, the pantry often runs out of essential items. Help keep the pantry stocked by donating the most needed items. From canned food to personal items and cleaning supplies, you can make a difference by donating. Learn how to donate by visiting pantry.unl.edu.
Back. Following the death of One Direction band member Liam Payne on Wednesday, fans continue to mourn his death.
Yesterday, a vigil was held outside the Buenos Aires Casa Sur Hotel in memory of Payne. Fans of Payne and the band left various items like flowers, candles, and other One Direction mementos outside of the hotel where he died. Yesterday, a preliminary autopsy report found Payne died of multiple trauma and internal and external bleeding following his fall. Public prosecutors say, quote, could have fallen into a state of semi or total unconsciousness. Medical examiners are still waiting on results from toxicology tests. Payne was 31 years old.
Pumpkin season ending before Halloween starts is rare, but that is the reality for the SR Pumpkin and Flower Farm.
Nebraska Nightly's Camille Andel explains this local farm's unexpected spike of fall fanatics.
October is wrapping up, and with that, fall activities are winding down. This includes the SR Pumpkin and Flower Farm's fall season, which closed earlier than previous seasons due to popularity. Sarah Rippey closed her U Pick farm mid-October.
We're very busy. I just ran out of flowers and pumpkins early on, which is not a bad problem to have, but then it makes the season short, and then people who wait till last minute won't be able to find many pumpkins.
The farm's unique You Pick aspect allows customers to choose exactly how they want their bouquet of flowers or which pumpkins they want to bring home.
Basically, you take your cup, you go onto the field and cut whatever flowers you want, and then you end up with a big, beautiful bouquet to take home. And then same with the pumpkins. Basically, you can just go out to the field and see whatever pumpkins talk to you and bring them home.
This year, the SR Pumpkin and Flower Farm ran out of pumpkins and flowers quite early due to popularity, but will reopen back again in January for tulips.
Even last weekend, I had a new family come out and they said, this is amazing. They just want to go roll in the weeds and pick their pumpkins and go home happy, and they said that they'd be back every year. So
the SR Pumpkin and Flower Farm is located 15 miles north of Lincoln, Nebraska at 5811 Davie Road. They will have a one-day pumpkin sale on October 20th for any remaining pumpkins found. Keep an eye out on their website, www.srpumpkins.com, or their Instagram and Facebook for more information. Camille Andel, Nebraska Nightly.
Fall break means plans outside.
Dominic Ferraro returns with a final look at your weather. Dominic?
Well, shaping up to be a pretty good start to fall break. Saturday, partly cloudy skies. We're going to be up into the upper 70s, and then we'll be into the 80s. The graphic's got the wrong numbers in here, but I promise we'll be into the 80s, and we'll see a chance for rain on Monday here. But other than that, pretty good start to fall break. Mostly sunny skies until we get to Monday. At that point, we're probably starting to think about going back to class, so it'll kind of set the mood right. But should be a good start to fall break.
Yeah, I'm really excited because I'm staying here in Lincoln for fall break, so it's good to know that the weather is going to be good for it.
Definitely. I'm staying here too, and I know I'm excited to catch up on some sleep here.
I'm definitely excited to just lay on the couch and watch sports all weekend.
Definitely. And we've got some good Husker games this weekend to watch too.
Yeah, exciting.
Yeah. Definitely.
Nebraska Nightly is a production of the University of Nebraska's College of Journalism and Mass Communications.
Thanks for tuning in. There's no show on Tuesday due to fall break, so we'll see you next Friday on Nebraska Nightly.